As I got to the end of my note, she comes bouncing in the office. And I said, True, I said, I wrote you a little note. I want to read it to you, see what you think about it. And I read it to her. And True, she was gracious about it, but she wasn't overly impressed. And she sat next to me and she picked up a pen and a piece of paper and she started to write me back. And when she wrote me back, the first thing True said, I'm going to show y'all. It rocked my whole world. She said, I was born of a girl so brave and so strong, but sometimes it feels like something is wrong. You're so accomplished. At work, you're a boss, but you have to make sure that you don't get lost. She said, sometimes you seem sad. It makes me feel bad. Sometimes you've given much more than you've had. Mom, I can see it. You're doing your best. Mom, you're my hero, but heroes need rest. And she goes on and on and on. And she basically tells me towards the end of her note, she says, you're wonderfully, perfectly, wickedly smart. Are you still determined to follow your heart? If you don't believe you're amazing, I do. I'll be a great me if you'll be a great you. I'll hear what you say, but I'll do what you do. So always, always be true to you. And I'm going to tell you something right now. That thing put me on my knees. It put me on my knees. And I promise you that I read those lines 20 times. And I'm going to tell you, when she finished writing, she didn't tarry. She bounced on out that office. She had done what she came in there to do. And I believe God used her as a vessel to say to me that I wasn't necessarily practicing what I'm preaching. Mm. And all this energy that I'm putting into her best life. She's looking at me like, what about your best life? And when she said, I hear what you say, but I'll do what you do. So always, always be true to you. I promise you, I read that thing 20 times and I cried and I doubled over and cried. And I was just a puddle. I was just a mess. I just broke down in a way that I just very rarely allow myself to break down. And then I called Cece. And then I called my mom and I called my cousin and my aunt, and I read that to them, and everybody cried. And I could tell by the reaction that this was a message, just like you said when you read it in that coffee shop that day. I could tell by the reaction that this was a message that was for me, but it was for more. It was for all of us.